What's up, you guys? Sasha Boss here, and today I'm going to do a video that many of you action figure collectors are not really aware of in the toy community. It's about how to pose action figures. Like, more specifically, a couple figures I have pose action figures. Like, I have Black Series figures, I have Marvel Legend. I mostly have 3 Hasbro figures and 1 NECA item, and I will show you how to pose them in a minute. Yeah, so the reason why I'm going to do this video today is because I'm a big Star Wars figure. I love action figures, but there's not a lot of YouTube videos teaching you how to pose them, how to get them in dramatic poses, and how to interchange parts. So that's why today's video is all dedicated to action figures. Let's introduce us to our roster of figures today. So guys, the first figure we have in our arsenal of figures is one of the harder figures to find of 2020, which is Destro. This is Destro, guys. This is from the G.I. Joe collection, classified collection figure. I got him all the way back in St. Nick Day of this year. I'm going to teach you how to pose him. His legs are a little bit stiff, but yeah, I'm going to teach you how to pose him. So Destro is the first figure we have. The second figure that we have to pose today is our Black Series figure of choice. This is Cad Bane from the Star Wars The Clone Wars, one of my favorite Black Series figures I have in my collection. This is probably my favorite Black Series figure I have to this date is him, because he's so cool. There's Cad Bane. There's a closer look at Destro. And then also another figure we have. So the next figure we have is to represent our Marvel Legends. So if I can show you how to pose Marvel Legends, we have Dr. Doom. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Doom will be our Marvel Legend of the day. So he's going to show you how to pose him around, because I really want to pose him. Do some cool dramatic poses with Dr. Doom, one of the best Marvel Legends of the year. So we got him. And finally, the last figure we got to film today, is to help pose us around, we have the Shredder from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles NECA Toys figure. This is the Shredder. So I'm going to teach you guys how to pose around the Shredder. Also, I would be showing you guys all sorts of tips about how to pose and giving my whole advice about it. So I'm pretty much going after a villains theme. If you want to see if you get 10 likes on this video, if you get 5 or 10 likes, I don't care. I might do a part 2 on this. If you get 10 likes on this video, I'll guarantee you're going to get a Heroes part 2 about how to pose. So leave in the comments, give me feedback, and tell me how you think I pose these figures well. Did I teach you guys how to pose them correctly? Leave in the comments if you want some more advice, but here we go. Before we begin posing our action figures today, we will, I'm going to show you how I sort all my accessories. Also got a couple accessories down here too. I have them loose. Right now, this is the briefcase that came with Deathstroke from the Classified series. This is the Dr. Doom that did not come in the Super Skrull Build-A-Figure wave. This Dr. Doom I'm posing came out in the vintage collection of this year, retro collection, and a beautiful card back, man. Also have these loosey-goosey guns. I got this with my Marvel Legends Deadpool, so I got that. But before we begin our posing, we have different things that we can pose our action figures with. So I like to sort my action figures by keeping a track of the figures. So right here we have the Shredder and the Ziploc bag, which probably needs to be done eventually. But there's all the Shredder's accessories, so I can know who the figures are. This is a very good life hack to have for your action figures, because by having a Ziploc bag like for your action figures, this is a bunch of Dr. Doom and Spider-Man. But by having like action figures in a Ziploc baggie, because all the action figure companies give you a plethora of hands, an assortment of heads, or assortment of accessories, especially like Mezco. They do this to keep you guys organized. So I've been doing this for myself. It's a very cheap hack with the action figures. Just get a Ziploc bag, use a Sharpie, write the character name on it, and they have a so-called Mezco bag. So this is your action figure bag, if you will, for all your accessories. And this right here is some more accessories I have to pose around. So yeah. So let's begin posing our very first figure, which we're going to do the Shredder. So Shredder has many different like hands and all sorts of assortments of our different figures. So like he has a crane thing. So I'm gonna pose him around with the crane. But the way I see my action figures is when you open them up out of a package and you take a closer look at them, you're wondering how to pose them. How am I going to move them in sort of positions that you're not aware of? So pretty much what I do pretty much is you play around with the joints. If like the joints can move up like this, or you move them up, you move his leg like this, he's kicking, or just look at his arm. Just the way his arm moves is my way of teaching how to pose this figure. It is like how his arm moves. Like right now, I can show you how to put him in a cool pose. You just want to have his sword like this, and you want to have his fisted hand like this. That's kind of cool, like the Shredder. Or you want to have a triumphant pose with the sword in his hand, like this. Or you just want to have a casual Shredder, looking like a pretty bad character like this. So-called turtles. The thing is, was really tricky about posing the Shredder is that he has many different flaws with the figure. Like, for example, if you worry about the flaws of your action figures, it's just like the cape. You want to know how to pose around your cape, because the cape, you got to figure out how you like the cape. I like his sword almost like this. Let's keep your sword like this. So you really want to just have the cape folded, have the head turned if you want, and you really just want to bend those leg joints like this a little, kind of move his legs out as a hinge. And then that's a solid pose right here. See what I mean? Just want to have Shredder's head looking this way, and you want to have him looking down. I like him having look down like this because I think it looks like Shredder, and literally it screams Shredder like this. Honestly, I forgot to show you. So if you want to learn how to get your action figure accessories down, that's what I'm going to show you in the next part of the video. But right now, we have the Krang communication device, so we have Shredder kind of like looking at the Krang like this. If you want to, if you have the Krang accessory like this, you move out your hand, just like so. And you can move your other hand just like this, kind of have this magnificent pose of the Shredder just talking to the Krang. See, like that? You almost have to build up to think, what does this character look like? How do I move this character's accessories around? So that's pretty much the tips of this character. Like, you need to know how the action figure moves, how Shredder walks. You know, just look at, like, if you use your brain or your imagination, you make him do all sorts of crazy poses. That's why I love action figures. The action figure I'll be posing today is Deathstroke from G.I. Joe. So seeing this figure in hand, it looks very bland. And you just really want to know how the joints work, like I said. So by figuring out how this guy moves, like his legs, range of motion, are some of the key elements of action figure posing. Like, you want to know how this guy walks, like if he had double jointed legs, like this. You want to know if you want to have him in a running pose or a stance, like this. I think it looks cool like this, like he's about to go in action, just like so. Then what I would do is grab some weapons, like this, and then I put the weapons in hand. So the way I'm doing this, I'll show you up close the camera. You want to feel for the trigger fingers. If you want to know how the trigger fingers work, you want to put the trigger fingers in the gun, just like this. See? You add the blaster like this to the character. You want to move it out a little bit like that. Like he's firing off away. Almost like, I want to have him almost like this. You just want to grab your other gun. You just want to shoot off the other side. See, this is what I mean. This is what it looks really cool. So you also want to fix your feet. If your feet are not in the correct position for your action figure, it will not look good. So by like fiddling with like the feet and see how the character moves with all your accessories, this is the way to pose Deathstroke. I think it just looks really cool. Deathstroke like Deathstroke. I mean, not Deathstroke. So another thing I really like about Deathstroke is that it also comes with a briefcase. You can also put the briefcase in your pose too, in your other hand if you wanted to. It's just a very challenging figure to pose, because you can just you can pose him all sorts of ways. But I don't think I'm gonna pose him today with his briefcase. I just brought it as an option to put the character. But if you really wanted to, you could actually use this as almost as a base or a stomping ground for the figure, like I'm doing right now. Which is really cool. You put the cover thing, like the bomb. Or just have the bomb in your display shot. Something like that, you know? But this is almost what it looks like. It'll be a really cool pose for Deathstroke. You just gotta feel for those joints, like I said, man. And you also figure out what guns would work too, because with this gun, I don't think it would fit his hand, because it's too big and too bulky. But this gun would work, and it looks beautifully with this gold holster. So I'm just keeping the pose I had, just like this, right? And then you want to have his head turned too, just like that. The reason why I'm teaching you guys how to show you how to pose these figures is because they're very challenging and very hard to do. So we just did Deathstroke, and now I'm gonna do Cad Bane, which is pretty simple to do Cad Bane. Like I said, you gotta feel for your joints, and then you pretty much have to do all sorts of things that make your action figures look good. So this is Cad Bane from Star Wars Black Series. So you can move his arms out like this. Like, you know, make sure his arms don't really bend. Just make sure like they look cool. You don't want to make them look bad, but the hat is the only problem about the figure. Hat, guys, it's just the most challenging parts about having an action figure. Just how the head moves. It just needs to grab your pistols. So grab the gun like this. We'll put only pistols in his other hand. It's just the trigger fingers, guys, which are just very, very challenging to do, because like it's a very bad figure. And you do not want to break the hand whatsoever. So you take out the hand like this, take out the holster, just gently grasp it like that. Put here too. Also, having holsters for your figures is also a really good feature for action figure collectors, because they are just great for posability and just the theming behind this whole video. It's like how to add these guns. Like, you pretty much just put them through the trigger fingers, like, peel them through, push them in, and they're just very. The pose I'm going to go towards for Cad Bane is almost a double pistol lock. One of them's going to go like this way. The other's going to go this side, like this. Add the hat, like this. Get the hat to it. Move the legs. And the Black Series figure is a little bit more challenging to pose, but this is the pose I came on. So you got to make sure to feel your joints, like I said previously, but also make him have a cool pose like this, like he's like firing. I like this way. This literally describes what Cad Bane is as a character. So you want to move his legs almost out like this, but like this, like he's running and about to fire. So there's Cad Bane. The next figure we want to do is Doctor Doom. So get your Ziploc bag, you've already made one, which is really simple. You just want to dump out the accessories, you know, keep them organized, but dump out all accessories. The accessories I'm going to work with today, I'm going to get him using his book in his hand, the red book, and I'm going to use a couple of his hands, really. I'm going to use one of his hands. He comes with all sorts of hands, really. I'm just grabbing the hands I need. I just need the book hand. So just grab all the accessories you need. So this is some of the accessories I have. I'm going to show you. First step I'm going to do with Doctor Doom, I just want to show you how to add these clear pieces, yellow pieces. So you want to be a poser with Doctor Doom. Option 1 is plug in these pieces in the bottom of the feet. So the feet right here, they just plug in, just like so. Which is really cool. If you're new to the action figure collecting community, you know, so you actually have them flying like this, you guys. It's hovering into power like this, which is cool. Or your other option, you flip off these. See the jetpack? Unplug these. Put them up the jetpack. See what my finger is? Like that. And we do the same one, just on the opposite side. Like this. See, this is his jetpack. You can use this jetpack piece for all sorts of action figures, like I said. I think this would be cool for your Iron Mans or your War Machine, like I have. Or you can use it for your Mandalorian. Jetpack piece is just a very cool addition to your action figure. as a whole thing. The pose I'm going for is taking out these. I'm going to pop out this hand, trigger hand, and I'm going to add, it's a little tricky to do, you gotta pop out these hands like this, pop them out, add this hand in, I think it's this way, make sure your joints match up. So you plug it in, you just want to plug in this hand. I think this is the opposite hand because it's, looks like it's supposed to be for your left hand. So to pop this out, a little tricky to do to get the hands out, just like this. You don't want to break the figure. It's just very, very challenging at times. I'm going to do another figure where you can actually take out the head, and heads are very challenging to do as an action figure collector. But you want to add this in, his hand just like this, pulls it back down. You want to simply just add the book. If you want to go with red book, my goal is having him like reading this book, but like it's very tricky. There we go. It's just a very challenging figure, accessory wise, because like you're trying to get the book to go in his hand, and it's very hard. I don't know how to get his this in. All the action figure people in the community obviously knew how to do this better than I do. But if you're one of those people that need someone to teach me how to add these accessories to these hands, like I tried myself, it's not working. I'm going to be off camera and see if I can play around with it and be right back. It honestly took a very long time, but it worked. You got to be very careful with your figure. The way I did it was you just got to look at photos online, but you got to prod open those hands like this. To get the figure, you got to prod open those hands. But I got him in this really cool reading pose. Like he's like picking up a book. I'm like, ew, what's this book? You know, like almost like throwing away the book. So yeah, that's the book pose I have on for right now. This is the pose I have for Dr. Doom, with the book in hand, which is an epic pose. Also got some green mist effects I was going to use, but no, I really want to use the book. But before I show you the final poses for all the action figures, let's show you what everything looks like. Boom! This is what all the action figures I did today. So this is every single one. So I'm just very, very pleased with myself. I got this book. I'm like, I have Dr. Doom. I'm like, ew, books are gross. Type of look. And then we have Cad Bane having a frenzy of fire. You know, friendly fire scene right there. And we have Deathstroke about aim and fire. And then we have the Shredder talking to the Krang. All in all, this was a super fun video. I'm hoping you guys do like and subscribe, Such Boss, for more videos like this in the future. And thanks for watching. Bye.